What if I told you that the very first investment you ever make is almost guaranteed to be a mistake? And what if that one single mistake costs you decades of wealth with no way to get it back? See, it begins with a quiet kind of theft. A loss that happens so gradually you don't even notice it's happening until the damage is done and the opportunity is just gone forever. We all assume investing is about money, right? It's not. It's really about psychology. And it's about the invisible rules that guide every one of us, often to our own ruin. And this brings us right to the heart of the issue. It's not some sudden market crash or a big flashy headline event. No, it's a silent erosion of your future. Think about it. You probably know someone who dabbled in a hot stock, right? They made a quick profit and suddenly believed they were a genius. And for a little while, everything seems fine. But underneath it all, a really dangerous illusion is being built. So this is what we mean by silent erosion. It's these invisible forces, our own biases, our emotional triggers, that are quietly, day by day, just destroying our potential to compound wealth. The truth is, the very first choice you make sets the entire course. It defines whether you're on a path to real wealth or just a slow, grinding trap of mediocrity. And the worst part? Almost nobody even knows this choice exists until it's far, far too late. And this leads us to the great paradox of investing, the psychological snare. This is where winning is actually the first step toward losing everything. Just imagine this for a second. You put, say, $5,000 into a stock because a friend told you it was the next big thing. And boom, it shoots up 20% in 3 months. You feel smart. You feel proud. But here's the snare. That early win, it doesn't teach you a single thing about good strategy. All it does is reinforce your ego. Your brain gets hooked on that dopamine hit from a quick win, and it starts convincing you to keep playing a game that's completely rigged against your long-term future. So, you really have to stop and ask yourself this. Are you actually building real, lasting wealth, or are you just chasing that feeling of approval, that quick rush you get from feeling smart? That chase for the feeling of approval, it leads directly into the next mistake. This seductive idea that you can successfully time the market. It seems like a simple game, but it's one you are almost guaranteed to lose. I mean, just look at why it's a fool's errand. Markets don't operate on your personal schedule. They move because of massive, invisible systems, things like liquidity, institutional money flows, global policy, stuff you can't see and you certainly can't predict. And yet, there's that little voice inside, isn't there? The one that whispers, I can time it. I just need one big win to set myself up for life. But just pause for a moment and be totally honest with yourself. Has that strategy ever really truly worked for someone you personally know? Not in some story you heard, but in real life over the long haul. Because while you're out there chasing that one big win, you are giving up the single most powerful force in all of finance, compounding. The real price you pay is in hesitation. Let me give you the brutal truth. Losing just 10 years of compounding, a single decade spent waiting for the perfect moment, can literally cost you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars over your lifetime. It's a loss that happens because of inaction, not because of bad stock picks. Can you imagine looking back when you're 50 and realizing you had the chance, you had the knowledge, you had the money, but you let these simple, invisible mistakes steal the future you could have built? Just how would that feel? Because here's the thing, investing isn't just about numbers on a screen. It's governed by these 4 incredibly powerful triggers: greed, fear, envy, and pride. For the untrained investor, they silently dictate almost every single decision. It's not just psychology, it's biology. So what is it? What is the one foundational error? The single source from which all of this regret eventually flows? Well, let's be perfectly clear about what it isn't. The first mistake is not a bad stock pick. It is not a timing error. And it is not getting caught in a market crash. No, it's something much, much more fundamental. Here it is. The first mistake is the failure to start with clarity, with patience, and with systems that are designed specifically to protect you from your own psychology. Everything else, every other mistake, is just a symptom of this one failure. So,
Ultimately, you're faced with a choice. It's really one of two paths. Are you chasing excitement, the quick wins, the hot tips, those dopamine hits? Or are you patiently building freedom with a system that just grows quietly and relentlessly year after year?
Now, after hearing all this, you might think it's pretty simple advice. So I'm going to encourage you to watch this again. But the second time through, don't look for new information. Look for yourself. Notice which of these traps you've already walked into. Because you see, awareness on its own isn't enough. It's only action that turns insight into freedom. So the final question is for you. What have you just realized about your own investing habits? Go ahead and share that realization. Because seeing the pattern is always the first step to breaking it.